Yeah.
We'll talk about have some.
I'll see when I cut in for it with the title.
Like coming to you, the intro. Why your jacket, dude?
Oh, fine. It's your baby. It's like.
Are you recording?
Yeah, they're recording.
Oh, you got that on camera? Like literally yelling at you.
It's like, no, please.
God. All right. So. Get it my chest, dude. All right.
It's an early morning.
It's very early. We've been trying to do 6 a.m. shoots, which they sound really, really smart in theory.
In theory.
And in actual practice, it's very difficult, especially when you have a kid and kids on the way. No,
I can't relate. I stay up late playing video games.
It's different. I used to do that, dude. I used to be like up at like 2 a.m. Like, okay, I'm done playing Call of Duty. I'll go to bed, wake up at 5, 6. I mean, we have to be ready by 6, but still, it's still. I was like, 3 hours, 4 hours, I'm good.
It's like I can live off that.
And last night, my daughter just like she wasn't being horrible, but she just knocks out and stays asleep. And yeah, last night she was like, "What's up? Who wants to play right now at 2 a.m.?" And I'm like,
the sky's awake, so I'm awake.
Exactly, and like that's literally like how she is. Like she's like little Anna. So wants play, you know,
like play.
You know, wow. I have like less than 3 hours to sleep before like I gotta get up and get ready because I like to have. And if I'm stumbling words because like my brain's not working, I like to have at least an hour to get ready. Not that it takes me an hour to get ready. I just don't like rushing. I've rushed my entire life. Like, you know, like, get up, Ryan. Time for baseball. Time for this. Time for that. You know, get to school early. Oh, you have 0 period because if you don't, you can't work after school. Like, you know, just stuff like that.
You're just like...
Which all the young kids, all the young ones, they're like, whoa, why would you do that? It sounds like so much work. Yeah, it's called work, bro.
Back in the day when you have like 3 jobs. But job market right now sucks, dude.
Dude, I
got so lucky I found work.
I had, at one point, so I was going into college. I had 3 jobs going into college, like at the same time. I worked at O'Reilly Auto Parts, Target, and those were the 2 I had at the same exact time. And then I was also already starting to like go into LAUSD. Okay. Because I was a tutor. I don't think I've ever said that on this channel, actually. I was a tutor. It's called AVID, Advancement via Individual Determination. I don't even know if they still have it. But it's a prep program to get the kids ready for college. Oh, okay. And I was a product of the system that got to go to college, that had good grades. So they were like, "You're perfect.
Come back in here."
Exactly. So I was like, okay. I didn't know how good of a job it was because they paid me at that time it was before 2010. Right? What was I talking to? Dude, see what I'm saying? This is going to be a weird episode, man. I completely lost my train of thought. This is a weird episode. How, like, they paid me $14 an hour. And I was 18 years old.
It's not bad, especially for
dude, minimum wage was you don't know this. Minimum wage was $8 when I was working.
Damn, you made bank.
Yeah. For an 18-year-old, I was like, and don't ask me where all that money went because I have no idea. I have no idea. I figured like, I had a nice car. I had a fast car, but it wasn't nice. I'm assuming that's where it went because I had to pay for a $2,000 transmission.
Dude, cars are a money pit.
Yeah, they are. Let's talk about that right now. So, coming to you from a dumpy little garage in the San Fernando Valley.
I'm Brandon, and he's Ryan, and welcome to Bridging Otacos. Yeah, we're going to be tired this morning. We're actually, I don't know if you can see from back here. Yeah. We're making a pot of coffee over here.
We're making hot water.
Hot water. Well, yes, hot water, and then we have
Japanese style coffee. Well, Japanese instant style. Yeah. Even though I have the Café Bustelo here, which is if you don't know, espresso. Oh, if you can handle strong coffee, go for it. Well, if not, I would ease into it.
Well, we're about to see what happens here. Yeah. Either I'm going to get a burst of energy, or I'm just going to go.
I'm going to level out. Coffee doesn't do that. We've never had this conversation. Coffee. We love coffee. I love coffee.
He loves coffee. I used to get it for free at work, so I'm like, I'll just bring it.
I'm kind of a coffee snob, actually. That kind of am.
Just like, it has to be for 1:30. It's been 1:28. The texture will be all wrong.
No, I'm literally looking at like, is it at 212 degrees right now?
Hey, when you know, you know.
And like I even like got into this point where like I can taste if it's tap water that they use and not filtered water.
Damn.
Well, filtered water, tap water apparently is filtered water, but it's just full of so much junk that I could taste it.
You're like, I only pour Voss or Fiji water into mine.
I've done it. I actually have. I'm like, I wonder how this like high level pH balance, and then like I boil it to like 212. It doesn't matter what's in it. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are forever chemicals in the tap water, so yeah.
I could just picture you.
See, you're like, what? What's going on here?
I'm like,
what are you talking about?
I'm like, coffee? I haven't reached that. Well, I probably should. 'Cause I've been recently taking like afternoon siestas when I come back from work. Like I'll just pass out for like an hour, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm awake. Nice. I think must be nice. It is kind of nice. Like my mom, she'll be like, Brandon, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, I'm taking a nap. She's like, you just got home from work. I'm like, I'm tired for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to go to the doctor. I finally have healthcare, so I can finally go to the doctor. It's been
why? I mean, go
6 years since I've had.
I haven't ever said this. I don't believe in doctors. I don't like them.
That's why you have a rain stick over there.
Yeah. I don't like doctors, dude. And not in the sense of like, oh, I'm a man, right? Men don't like doctors.
Latino men don't like doctors.
It's not even like that, dude. It's like I'm all down for like good medical care, medical advice. Like, you know, I break my leg, I need surgery, I need something to be fixed. Cool. That's a specific profession. Great. Mm-hmm. I don't believe in the general MDs. I just think they're legal drug peddlers, to be honest. But also they do.
That is true. I forget my cousin if he did make that joke or not. He's just like, oh, what are you doing? I'm going to see my drug dealer. It's like, what? I'm going to the doctor. I'm sick. That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's
well, I need a diagnostic run on my body. So I'm just like, okay, I'm going to go. Tell me what's wrong. And then.
But they don't do that.
They don't.
Well, think about it. Well, they do it to a extent where it's like, okay, you can't legally sue us for not doing anything, but we didn't actually fix the problem. Think about it. Like, let's just say you have a stomach ache, right? Very, very basic. Millions and billions of people on the planet have stomach aches every day that aren't United States citizens or live in the U.S. I guess you could live here and not be a citizen. So you live in the U.S., right? You go get U.S. medical care. What do you think happens? You have a stomach ache. It won't go away. You go to the doctor. Here, your MD that you just got with your insurance. What do?
Ask you if you farted? I don't know.
Okay. They don't. Well, actually, they probably don't even ask you that. They don't care. They're like, I don't care if you're. All they're going to say is, do you feel constipated? Right? Mm-hmm. Do this, do that. Why are we talking about poop already?
It's coffee. It's early in the morning. Something's got to move.
Okay, so let's say, anyway, they're going to probably say, take this, right? Mm-hmm. And it be some kind of drug, some kind of branded chemical, right?
Right.
To help you either go to the restroom or to coat your stomach with, right?
Right.
Pepto, Pismo, whatever, stuff like that, right? But if you go to, let's just say, there's doctors who are more on the like natural side, which is all I'm saying. Like I just believe in like the more natural approach, right? Before you got to use human created chemical derivatives,
all
right?
that stuff, yeah.
I don't want to say what it is because I don't know the exact word, but there's herbs, right?
Weed.
I've actually never done it. Isn't that crazy? I know like 99.9% people have, especially in California.
Oh, for sure.
But I never have. I've had it in front of me. I've had people offer it, and like I'm not like in like snobby like I haven't done it. I never found it appealing.
Neither have I, but I've definitely experienced like secondhand high because of like.
Okay. And maybe I have secondhand. I just don't know if that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you're just like, that's a smell.
Yeah.
It was funny where at work, like we'll open the stairwell, like the back stairwell, and like every once in a while, like we'll be like, it's like, all right, someone was smoking weed, and there's like a guy down the hall that we know. Skunk? That's the thing. We've smelled skunk and we've smelled the what we think is weed, and it's like, okay, we could differentiate between the two.
You can?
Yeah.
Because the dude, there's times we wake up in the middle of the night and it's so strong. I'm like, is someone smoking weed in my house? Like, who's it? Like, and I'm like, no. But we've seen skunks, right? He just farted. We've seen skunks walking around. So I'm like, I think it's a skunk. right? Like I think it's skunk. I think it got into between our fence or whatever and came and was like, "Oh, you sleep here, Ryan? Smell this all night." Like I don't know.
Rivet.
Like, but then it has to be a skunk because I think they like urinate or they whatever it is they don't
Yeah, like when they spray.
They spray on our car's tires. Oh. And then it's like I've been in people's cars who do smoke weed, right? And I'm like, it smells like weed and mint put together, right? And I opened my car door one day and I'm like, I know my wife's not smoking weed. I'm like, and it literally smells the exact same. And I'm like, but we've always made this joke after buying and I know I'm talking like Donald Trump right now. I'm just ranting on like random stuff. But what's my point? My point is the doctor. I don't like doctors because they don't fix the problem. Unless you have a broken bone or you're bleeding out. That's it.
They're basically AutoZone. You want to take it. I'm like, I understand that some doctors are AutoZones. And then I'm like, okay, I want to go to a mechanic. I just need the diagnostic, then I'll take it to the mechanic.
Okay, but they don't do the mechanics. That's crazy. It's a good analogy, dude.
Exactly.
They don't do the mechanic at the doctor's office unless they refer you out to a specialist.
Yep.
So it's like, why don't I just go to a specialist? Oh, because you need my referral. So I'm here just begging you to not touch me. To me, it's like, and then they go, well, you don't have to. It's like, yeah, but then you got to pay everything out of pocket.
Yeah.
Like how me and Brittany do for like the childbirth, because we do not like that system. Water's ready.
Water's ready. Let's do it. Coffee time. Then one might actually be saying things that are comprehensive.
Which is kind of interesting. When we went to Japan, I did learn there's a lot of European influence in Japan.
There is. It's insane.
I did not know that like there was two, let's call them factions of Japanese culture when the Western European culture came over, where they were like, we have to assimilate. We need spoons. We need tea time. We need China. We need all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
When the other side was like, we have our own culture. We have, what people assume, chopsticks, all this stuff, you know? So when I was like, obviously there's Japanese writing all over it, right?
Yeah.
But then the brand is Blendy, and I'm like, there's no way there's a Japanese brand in English writing Blendy, right? So yeah, this is from like Europe. This is like a European brand, but they're in Japan, like they're popular in Japan. It's good coffee. It's good instant, actually. And I would argue that Japan probably has the best instant coffee in the world. I mean, I don't know. This Cafe Bustelo is pretty good though too, but they're so on the go. I think like majority of people, that's like they don't do like. Did you see a Starbucks over there? I think I saw one. There's Tokyo,
a few Starbucks.
I did not care to go in.
Dude, I miss going to the one. I forget where it is exactly, but it's the largest Starbucks in the world, and it's like 4 stories with like a top garden as well.
In Japan?
Yeah.
Okay, so they do that. They have one thing. They have one, but it's like grand. But they're not all over the city, like plopped around.
Yeah. Well, I think I maybe saw like 2 Starbucks, and that's because it was riding the trains. It was right next to the station.
So I didn't see them.
So that was it.
If I did see them, they were very like minuscule and not very popular.
Like they're very hidden as well. Because I'm like, I would look at the building, and it was like it would just be on the 2nd floor, and then we just have Starbucks like written on the window. And then I was like, oh, there's a Starbucks. Like I just didn't know.
Well, watch us like Starbucks be like, that's not good. They should know where things are. Let's sponsor them to go on a Starbucks hunting trip back to Japan. Dude, that would be amazing. And like, I would take it. I don't care. I'm not a fan, but I would do it.
You're just like, paid trip to Japan. Got it. We're still working on the Manscaped one.
Can you imagine for our sponsors, Manscaped and Starbucks be like, Starbucks should become first, or should Manscaped come first, depending on how it affects you. Dude, that'd be so funny.
Because I'm actually curious thinking about it. It's like some channels, it's like, what is like the range of sponsors that they have, and what's there like 2 that they have? Like, there's no parallel.
What I've noticed is like the trend is like sponsorship is becoming trendy.
Yeah.
Like where it's like, oh, you're not sponsored by this this specific organization or company, then you're not in, right? Like right now, I can tell it's SeatGeek for whatever reason. I don't know, like all the podcasts I listen to, all the things I like watch. I would say like 8 out of 10 of them are sponsored by SeatGeek right now in some capacity.
For me, I've seen more people are sponsored by BetterHelp, which is very controversial.
Oh, that's another one. That's okay. That's like probably like the second one I would come up with. BetterHelp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're also like okay.
They're back on a rise because originally like a lot of people like didn't like them.
You can have that if you want. That's the last one.
Thank you. It's like putting your coffee, idiot.
Let's do this because it's gonna get.
Yep.
It's not gonna hold temp.
So, but what happened was BetterHelp for a long time, like they're like, we don't share your information or something like that. And then it came to find out, it was just like, oh, they would keep like an algorithm of like people when they're like, oh, we're looking for this in a doctor or this in a doctor. And then they would share it to like, basically they were doing what they said they wouldn't be doing.
BetterHelp as far as like a therapist, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I don't know why I don't call therapists doctors. I know they are classified as doctors, but I just think of doctor as like
with the stethoscope and the
pokey, how do you feel, turn it off type of guy.
Hits you with a hammer. And ironically, I can't believe that. It's just like, so what do you, imagine explaining going to the doctor to somebody that has no idea what a doctor normally does. It's like, oh yeah, like.
In the US.
Yeah.
It is weird.
Because it's just like, oh yeah, no, they just got a random stick. They just stuck it down my throat. They got like a little hammer, just hit my knee with it. Like they were pushing my stomach in. And it's just like,
yeah.
Excuse me, what?
Oh, so you're okay. So back to our original conversation when we started. You're looking to get a physical.
Yeah.
Okay, and like I would suggest since you're feeling tired, blood work.
That's what I probably should do.
Which, if you're in, I mean, it depends on your insurance, but hopefully they cover the majority of it.
Covered CA. Dude, I got so many of those advertisements. Did you ever get the Covered California like ads all the time?
Mm-mm.
Dude, I was constantly just getting Covered California ads, and I was just like, okay. And it's like because
my algorithm knows it. I won't look at it because I
don't.
Dude, I hate I hate the medical propaganda. Like here, we're talking about things we don't like about the industry last time. In general, let's start talk about some things we just don't like in general. I hate how there's so much advertising in the US, to be honest.
Dude, it's everywhere.
Like I know it's in Japan too. I'm not saying like, oh, like they're better than everybody, right? But like,
we're not glazing.
No, it's just like, but here it's like when you start to ask just a little bit of questions, you start thinking like, wait a minute, we are kind of weird here. Like, why are we advertising so much like medicine to people? You know, because it's almost like it's like that thing saying like, oh, here, you look yellow, you need this, and it's like, wait, I didn't know it was yellow, and all of a sudden you're like, I need it, but even though you never did, you know what I mean? We're so tired. We're so tired. I have my coffee. Brandon's like, we were so tired, we were so gone, aka hungover.
No,
buzzing.
No, were we buzzed that night? I forget. It's funny when my friend drinks, he'll get like pink. Expired?
I hope not. I don't think so.
Let me see. Let me miro cheat the.
Is that an expiration date right there?
Yeah. So 1/7/2025. So that would be
January.
Yeah, because they go year, month, day. That's why your creamery looks interesting.
Do you think it's really that? Do you think it's actually bad though? Because this stuff's super sealed, dude.
I have no clue.
But it is from Japan, and they don't put a lot of preservatives. So come on,
give it a sniff.
I mean it. I'm drinking it. I don't care, dude. I've had worse.
We have on camera Ryan getting food poisoning.
Not food poisoning.
What would you classify it as then? Not malaria.
Okay, you know what?
Oh, that thing's not. That thing's chunky.
Yeah, it's a little
chunky.
Okay, I only put one in, so I'm still good. I'm still gonna drink it. So I'm gonna get the other. Hold on, pause. Beep. Time out.
Time out.
Oh my god.
We're back. We're
back.
Just kidding. We're not.
We had a little mishap with the creamer here.
Yeah.
Or the milk. It's came from Japan almost a year ago. So.
Oh my gosh.
So we got
like, did it expire?
Well, Ryan's gonna have fun today.
Very much so.
There you go, bro.
Thank you. But coffee.
What was I gonna say? Oh, so what was I gonna say?
We don't even remember half of the crap we're saying. Like, and that's the thing. Like, usually on like podcast recordings and stuff like that, people are like, I don't remember what I said. We're so gone this morning.
Yeah.
All right.
This is a rough morning.
It was a rough morning. Okay. completely out of
let's
left
try it.
field
Let's try it.
on topics that we've said so far. Once we take a nice good sip, he gets a taste of the home country. I get a taste of Japan. He gets the motherland. It's good.
Tell me why, and I know this is kind of racist, but that coffee tastes like has a hint of fish to it to me.
Really?
And I'm like thinking in my head, like, it's because I think it's from Japan. It might be grinded or something near a fish factory or in the same facility that they process fish.
I don't know. I'm not sure. How the hell is that racist? It's like, I don't know. Japan is known for
Because
their seafood.
Japan's known for fish?
Yeah, that's
like saying like this tastes like, oh my God, I almost say this coffee tastes like beans.
Well, they are coffee beans.
Dude, I could like...
Is that why they call us beaners? Besides the frijoles, would it also be coffee beans?
Hey, if you want to call me a beaner, for sure, I'll just say I drink a lot of coffee. And then people look at you like, what? Bro, get some culture, come on.
No, I want food.
So how do you like it? Do you like it?
I like it.
Okay.
I'm getting tired. I'm getting hungry. Dude, there's going to have to be so much editing for this podcast because there's so many just like, what? But okay.
No, we good.
Out of left field, did you see the trailer for Shrek 5?
Shrek?
Shrek.
Like the green guy?
The Green Ogre.
I had no idea. They need to stop this.
They're making a 5th movie. And a lot of people posted
We
online.
just talked about this like last time, remember?
Did
like
we?
How they don't come up with new stuff.
They don't let anything die. And guess what? Zendaya's in it now. Again, phenomenal actress. She's just everywhere. And I'm just kind of like...
Phenomenal actress, really?
A lot of people say she's a phenomenal actress. I enjoy the things that she's in, but she's in so many
Jenna
things.
Ortega's like leaps and bounds over her, dude.
I've not seen many things.
And it's only because this the whole... The way of... like I said, if it's not in... You're not in, your look, your whatever is not in, you're not popular anymore. Whereas like, I would say there was a degree of that to an extent back in the day too. Mm-hmm. Which back in the day for a lot of people now is like the 90s. But like, you still had like your lane, your niche, right? Now if you're not like front and center,
you're nobody.
There's not really nothing to go off of.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But they also
I think
changed
Jenna Ortega's better.
They also changed the art style too.
Why? It's not 3D anymore?
It is. It's just it looks a lot shinier. I've seen pictures of like people posting like the original Shrek and then the new Shrek, and they're like, tell the difference, and it's like, it does look similar.
It's probably AI generated.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Based on what you told me. That's capable.
Yeah, it's insane how that is. But it's just like, you put them side by side, it's not too different, but like you... to some degree, but you look at the difference, and the new one looks like Disney-fied and like super squeaky clean. It doesn't.
Yeah, it's not hand drawn.
It's okay.
And even if it wasn't before, you had to hand design it on the computer, like,
and the limitations made it like super jagged and like not the most eye-catching thing.
It looked like an animation, is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, and I feel like that. I don't know how my brain sees this. Shrek 5 falls into the exact same pitfall that a lot of anime have as of recent.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, we're going the Demon Slayer art style route, where it's just like...
Stay in your lane, bro. Like, or stay in your lane or because they created that art style, so why not stay in your lane? Why copy something else or try to mimic something else?
Mm-hmm. So it's like a lot of anime is doing like Demon Slayer thing, like the Rurouni Kenshin remake. It looks like Demon Slayer, and it's just like...
It does. It flows like it too, like with the fight scenes. Mm-hmm. And I want to love the new Rurouni Kenshin, right? Because I love the original anime. I do. But there's just something, it hits different. Mm-hmm. It hits different, dude. It does.
90s has like this sort of like absolute vibe to it before like the 2000 now. Like, okay,
I think it has the grind vibe.
Exactly.
Where it's like, I'm finishing this, like, and it's like, I would say the majority of it's hand drawn, passion projects. Yeah. And I'm not saying that anime now isn't passion projects. Like, we're eating good when it comes to anime now. Oh yeah,
it's just very. Again, I brought up the point. It's becoming so like mainstream, so popular. Like, even I think if I saw correctly, there was an like Luffy, like a One Piece advertisement was playing during a Los Angeles Lakers game.
Yeah, that would never happen before.
Yeah,
ever.
Like, it's cool that it's becoming mainstream. again, not gatekeeping, not being like, no, anime's ours, keep it to us. It's
I'm
just like
gatekeeping. I don't care. I'm a gatekeeper. If you can't figure it out on your own, then you don't deserve it. No,
it's like playing. Oh, what is that one? Who's known for like gatekeeping? Is it League of Legends or RuneScape? It's one of them.
wow.
And that's one of them.
I feel like all the not Kingdom Hearts. I feel like all the Final Fantasy people are gatekeepers.
I have no clue about that. I just started.
I feel
Final
like that
Fantasy.
because they're like, I want to beat this. No one else is gonna beat this.
But the games aren't super long. But right now I'm playing through a Rebirth. Honestly, in my opinion, at the same time, it might be a bit skewed because like Final Fantasy VII Integrate, which is part 1 of the remake, was the first JRPG I played, and I played some Chrono Trigger, and now I'm playing Rebirth. So now I'm getting used to JRPGs. I have to say, Rebirth, in my opinion, is phenomenally better than Integrate. Like, and I get Integrate is like the first part of a 3-parter, so of course it might be a little bit slower. You're waiting for the action to go. You're getting the development, the character backgrounds, and all that kind of stuff. So it's like I get that, but Rebirth is just heads and toes. And what's that expression? Hand over head. What?
Head over heels.
Not head over heels. No, I'm not. Well, I do. It's just like I'm not in love with Final Fantasy. If you see my streams, the amount of time I gush over Tifa, Jesus. No, it's head and shoulders. There we go. Above Integrate, and it's like I feel like the pacing is so much better because now they can actually stretch their legs and actually start moving through the story. I love the cutscene to like gameplay ratio where it's like, all right, you play for like a good few hours. There's like sections where you got to explore the world, do all the side quests, which don't drag on, and I'm actually enjoying doing the side quests, unlike the first game. And then it's just like you're in a section for just long enough that you're getting used to it. You're like, I like it, and it's not to the point where you're like, okay, I'm bored. Can we move on? Like, I want the next story beat. It's finding those perfect little sections.
What kind of a player is it?
Huh?
What kind of a player is it?
It's a JRPG.
Okay.
Yeah. And right now I've sunk maybe these are rookie numbers. I've only sunk like
This
30.
is Chrono Trigger?
No, this is a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Okay.
Chrono Trigger.
So this is the new one.
Yeah, this is the remake.
Remake. Okay, so not new in the storyline.
No, because that's the thing. I thought that it was splitting off into like 2 different timelines, but apparently
How come that works with video games?
what?
That you could go back and remake and it be still okay. Is it because people want the new graphics and they want the new game? Because they did it with Smash Bros.
Yes,
and I thought like it was gonna be garbage, and then I played it with some of the kids that we mentor, and I was like, okay, I need this. This is fun.
It's actually. I think it's because video games. I think it's because
The technology advances the systems versus like when it comes to storytelling and art, and I guess you could say like shows or movies.
Mm-hmm. And I think
there's a certain feel you get at that moment from that product.
Yeah.
Like for example, I'm going to cut you off, but like, look, this. Remember I told you about this? It's out now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh my god.
I have no
How do you
idea.
pronounce
I
that?
don't know. It must be an Elon Musk word.
Gene beginning. Literally.
So if anyone doesn't
throw it
know,
up. It's like
GQUUGX, however you say it.
somebody just.
But if you guys don't, and I doubt you can see it from over there, but I'll actually send this to you so you can put it on the screen for them.
No, put a cheesy effect, just being like it'll spin into frame, like a freaking 6th grader with PowerPoint, being like, "Oh my gosh, we have all these transitions. Let's use all these transitions." The only reason I'm thinking about transitions is because I'm watching like a 4-hour-long editing video.
Yeah.
Being like, this transition worked, this transition doesn't work, this is when you should use this one, this is how you best utilize this. And I'm like, I got 4 hours. Do I remember most of it? No, so I gotta rewatch some parts.
Yeah. No, but that anime, and I think it's a movie. I don't think it's a series.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a series. But we've went back and forth on Gundam, and he has nothing here that's Evangelion.
Yeah. Wait, do I have Ava merch here?
You don't have any Ava merch here, bro.
I don't have Ava merch here. Well, because I have it all at home.
Which means you're not a fan. You're just a fan.
What do you mean I'm not a fan? I would prefer having my things at home. The studio has the studio stuff. My home has my stuff.
well, this is my studio and my home, so
Yeah, true.
like literally right here. Like no.
You're just like, I'm just gonna go switch something out very quickly. Like brings the switch.
Actually, if it wasn't for the studio, I wouldn't have anywhere to put my stuff. To be honest, because like
so thank you guys.
thank you, because my daughter would. She already threw the Dragon Ball.
Yeah, she literally just grabbed it like it was
Chucked. I was
softball and just. Whah.
Officially licensed Dragon Ball from Japan, Aria.
You're like, please no.
And she goes, ball? I'm like, yeah, I guess it's a ball.
She's like, throw ball. It's like, no throw ball.
And she can throw now. She hit me in the
throw
face
ball.
yesterday. She was, and I was like slightly proud. I was like, all right, at least you're getting there.
Oh my gosh, reminds me of like a Team 4-star thing where it's just like, where it's like Trunks after he just absolutely like decks Vegeta while they're fighting Cell. He's just there laying in the water. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is strange. This is a feeling I've never felt before.
Pain.
Pride in somebody else. And then he like sees his bloody nose, but it's covered by all this unyielding rage.
Yeah.
I'll put the clip. I would yell, but I didn't want my voice in. But
yeah.
so it's just like, it's funny having like all that merchandise and stuff like that. So
we've been ranting for a while.
we've been ranting, but it was just like,
Let's see.
yeah.
What can we talk about? Like, let's pick a topic. Let's
But
see.
we'll go back to like the Shrek and everything and the video games. It's like, I think with video games, it's because it stays to the story beat.
Let's talk about video games.
Let's talk about
We haven't given video games a
a
dedicated
little,
episode.
No, not
Let's do
so
it.
far.
Let's do it now. It doesn't have to be anything like specific to anime or just it could be any pop culture thing.
Right.
I'm gonna have to look stuff up because some of the games I played, I don't even know if like they even continued as franchises because they weren't considered that back. Like the ones who started. Bleh, the ones who started that back in the day, I'm assuming was like that. I can remember the first chronological franchise games where it was like 1, 2, 3 was like Crash Bandicoot.
The PlayStation era.
Yeah, I don't know any other that did that. Crash Bandicoot was the first 1, 2, and 3 that I can remember. Everyone else was like one and done.
Super Mario
Twisted
Brothers.
Metal.
Twisted Metal.
You don't. Oh, I got it.
We got him awake now.
That's it. We have a topic.
We
Let's
got
go.
a topic.
Dude, I did a freaking. I had to make a movie poster for one of my finals in college, and they were like, make it of something that doesn't exist, or like not that it doesn't exist, but hasn't
Been
like
created.
there's not already a poster for it, right? And I made it of Twisted Metal, and dude, my professor was like, "What is this?" Right?
You're just
this
like,
literally looks like it could be a full-on franchise, and I'm like, well, it is IP'd by I think Sony, and they're like, he's like, this is legit, and I think they kind of try to do it with, what's that movie with Jason Statham and he's driving around in a car and they're shooting at each other and they're like hitting, and it's like, let me see.
Is that the one where he has to like keep his like heart rate to like the absolute?
No. That's Crank.
I think so.
Here, let me pull up pictures and then. But go ahead. Go ahead. So look at me.
So I think why people enjoy remakes, and again, this is someone that's like kind of coming back to the gaming community.
See, look, and there's already a teaser for a live action YouTube.
Live action YouTube?
Well, is it live action YouTube or
Live action trailer on YouTube?
Someone made a movie of it already.
Oh.
And it's a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes. But I heard that the creator of Mortal Kombat, the new Mortal Kombat with Scorpion is Japanese and he's like a samurai.
Yeah.
Not a samurai, a ninja.
That's the thing. I did hear that there was a reboot, and I've heard very little bits and pieces. I didn't really play Mortal Kombat.
I guess there was a live action on Peacock.
Huh?
I didn't know about it. Okay, anyway, but
Streaming services, the new cable of the modern age.
So you've never seen this, bro?
Oh, that thing. I have seen it.
Sweet Tooth.
The only reason I've seen that is because there was a Death Battle video on that a while ago. Do you know what Death Battle is? No. See, this is the lovely thing about the gaps.
See, and video games, like, because video games transcend like a large gap, like huge. Like you could say, I played Pokemon, and you'd be like, yeah, I played Pokemon too, and then you'd be like, I played. It's in my little cousin be like, I played Pokemon too. It's like, okay, but you're talking about completely different things. Like
you're talking about,
I'm talking about red, blue, green, yellow version,
and then I'm probably
you're
talking about like Diamond and Pearl.
Which I have no clue what that is.
Pokemon Dialga.
And then my little cousin's probably like Pokemon Go, and I'm like, that is not Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like
Do you remember how popular Pokemon Go was when it
I'm
first
surprised
came
I don't
out?
have a Pokeball on here. Actually, it's on my list to buy.
My
is.
friend 3D printed a Pokeball for me. I have that somewhere. But like Pokemon Go, that was so popular when it first came out.
See, look, and like, dude, like, 90s nostalgia, bro. See what I mean? Like how like it has like its own vibe.
Like you, from the look of it, you're like, okay, I get where we're going.
Yeah, yeah. And then like they played like, you know, Rob Zombie music was in here, like all the metal stuff. Like obviously it's called Twisted Metal. And so the whole concept, you guys can look it up, but this is what it looks like. I'll send you this one.
Yeah, you're like show screen, no
Yeah.
show screen. We'll just track it over Ryan's face very quickly.
Yeah. So anyway, I made a 3-dimensional movie like live action movie poster of Sweet Tooth. In the front, half faced, shadowed. I wish I could find it, dude. It's a digital file. I made it in college, and I can't find it. I can't find it for the sake of life of me. I think it was on a memory card. I probably overwrote for like video something, and I think even Brittany, who is my wife, would remember, because I remember I would sit there in the cafe where I would wait for her to get out of class and work on it. And she's like, "What are you working on?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a movie poster of a video game we used to play." She goes, "It looks kind of crazy, right?"
Yeah.
This was definitely before I was, let's just say, saved.
You're like, this is my Friday nights. What are you talking about?
Yeah, dude. But anyway, like that's the kind of like, see, video games already off on a good one. Yeah. So like Twisted Metal is one of the ones that I played. Let me think. I was a very PlayStation heavy kid.
Okay.
Because my uncle unfortunately spoiled us, because my uncles, I think I mentioned this, they could literally build computers from scratch. Like
yes.
All these people today, like, yeah, you guys know a thing or two, but like you have your own motherboard, you could buy motherboards. They could literally solder and build their own motherboards. Like they could have made an alternative to Apple. If they wanted to. Because they knew the 1 and 0 codes and like however to program. They were programmers, and this was their hobby.
Hearing you say that, it sounds like the one Theo being like sitting there at the party con un cerveza. Like he gets the soccer ball, like he's juggling. He's like, I could have been professional if it wasn't for this injury. Like I could have done it, but I did it. You know, I was too good. Like I would have been messy or whatever. It's like,
nah, they don't. They're not like that.
It's like, Theo, I saw you trip over the ball walking here. ¿Qué piensas?
No, they're not like that. They very much knew it was like their hobby.
Yeah.
But I mean, knowing what happened with all that stuff out, obviously after the fact, I'm sure they're like, dang, what if we like actually tried to do something?
Yeah.
You know, even like back in the day, dude, Apple and Microsoft were buying up small companies left and right so they would eliminate competition. They were paying, you know, people that created motherboards, what you guys call RAM now, you know, memory chips, all that stuff.
Yeah.
They were buying these little companies up who were selling like hobby kits like that, just buying them up and paying like, you know, $2-3 million back then. To that, was like pennies to them.
Which is pretty damn smart to some degree. Like literally, like realizing, okay, this is gonna become a competitive field. Yeah. How can I just absolutely like decimate the market?
Well, they play Monopoly. Is what they did. You know, they just went, oh, okay. So you have a mom and pop hobby shop. You probably come in, you probably rake in what $200K, which is really good back in that time. You know, and it's like, okay, what if we give you $2 million?
And they're just like, what?
And they're like, oh, okay, I'm done working. You know, like, and here you go, here's my hobby chips, like, you know, and they're like, cool. And then unless we know that tech is still in these phones.
For the most part.
You know, like.
They understood that you don't just pass up on the brown properties. You buy the whole set and you put hotels on that puppy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because that's the thing, everybody's like, oh, you got to get Broadway. You got to get like the big ones. Like, dude, those little ones at the beginning, you put enough on it, they kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But so anyway, we're talking about video games. So, but yeah, it encompasses computers and tech, right?
Stuff like that.
So he's like, oh, Sony came out with this crazy thing where like you can see everything in full color, right? You could see everything, you know, and it was on a CD-ROM, right? People are like, what's a CD-ROM? CD-ROM. You probably barely use CDs.
Well, the thing is, I didn't go PlayStation route. I went GameCube route. So I had the little tiny ones.
You had the little like Happy Meal looking ones.
Yeah, they were like that are like about yay big.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think I would love to buy just a bunch of old ones and like kind of display it because it's like okay,
Yeah.
having the disc is like
It'd be cool to put right here.
I know, like having
Like
the
a
discs
little-
is
like
like
a little,
cool and everything, like the giant ones. But there's something like I really like that's like collectible kind of looking with like the little miniature one with like the stencil art that's on it too. It's like Sonic Adventure 2. It's like it's a blue background on the disc, and then you have like a black outlines of like Sonic and Shadow, and then I think it says Adventure 2 on it. It looks really really good. I'm like I really like the art styles that they put on the GameCube disc that you could just. Oh my gosh, that reminds me of a joke.
See, you're okay. So what you're talking? Okay, we got to stay on. I'm gonna try to start focusing on staying on topic with us.
We're still on topic.
So you're saying GameCube, right? So your thing was GameCube.
Yeah.
Mine was PlayStation. One, just literally PlayStation. That's it. Not all this other.
PS2, PS3, PS5, which
And it gives a lot of credit to Sony for like how well they made the PS1 or just PlayStation. I don't know why I call it PS1 because the PlayStation and the PS2. They didn't make the PS3 until like I think 10 years after the PS2 release.
And is it PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 that's the most sold console of all time? PS2.
It was the perfect size, dude. It was this big, right? Had a footprint of about like what like a thin Lenovo laptop is now, right? It never got hot. Granted, the fans were like, "Pooh," like you could hear them.
You're like, we got
right?
a jet engine here.
Yeah, but it worked. It never broke. We never bought more than one because it just ran and ran and ran. It played DVDs, so my dad loved it because he was like, he get to watch his movies, plus we get to play. And at that time, people had usually 1 to maybe 2 TVs in the house.
At most,
now
yeah.
everyone has a TV in their freaking room, which is ridiculous.
Dude, I've seen people have TVs in their restroom.
We used to have to convince my aunts and uncles and my parents to let us play on the TV so we could play video games for a little while with my cousins. Because they were watching like, you know, the De La Hoya fight or something, right? Yeah. And then like, they were like, okay, fine. So then my uncle, you know, again, they're techie. So they would figure out like how to like get it to another screen, you know? That was a thing, like figuring it out back then. Now it's like, oh, why don't you just stream it? It's like, no, dude, it's not like that.
I forget if it was the cable or the TV, but I remember at one point my family had a TV.
We should have a whole thing where we like set up old tech
and just
show them like, this is what we're talking. This is what got us into this.
It's like, who remembers this? Who remembers that?
Yeah.
I remember there was a feature on the TV. It might have been my grandparents. My grandparents had cable. We didn't. We had the bunny ears. Where you could press a certain button.
Did you have the knob?
No, I didn't have the knob. I just had
Brainy had bunny ears and the knob on the TV.
What is this, the 50s, the 60s? It's just like, oh, it's in black and white too.
No, hers was in color, but it still had a knob.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of like that like retro look of just like having it. My mom, she was the one that still had the TV with the knob. But we just had the bunny ears in the little box where it's like it's like power, channel up, channel down. That was it.
Yeah.
I remember there was a special feature where you could press it and you could have one side of the TV playing one channel and the other side of the TV playing another channel.
Okay.
And I remember doing it once. I remember watching cartoons and NASCAR because I couldn't figure out how to switch the NASCAR one.
Really?
It was a modern day what this generation is. I had my computer, tablet, phone, and like what.
But you had to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
With an analog system. Okay, which is insanely cool, which gives credit to problem-solving skills, right?
Right.
Now, I think, and we're talking about video games here, the video games, you don't have to beat them. Video games are made now to just entertain you 24/7, right? There's no way to beat them.
There is a lot of that in the sense of like, oh, you have the battle royales of Fortnite, then you have Marvel Rivals, you have PUBG, you have
and those are the
COD.
most popular. That's what I'm talking about. Like
Exactly.
You can't. When it comes to video games, you do have to follow the industry standard. What is most popular? Because if your video game is not popular, you're not making any money. You're just not.
Well, we're starting to see a trend where AAA games, to some degree, are starting to teeter off a little bit because people are like,
Well, they're tired of it.
they're tired of it. They're
yeah.
sending like half-baked games. They're like, oh, you have to pay for the DLC. Right now, the indie game sphere, because a lot of AAA games are like laying off their employees. I've heard that they're like
They're probably using it.
Maybe, possibly, probably. But indie games are just starting to take off, and like people are making good quality stuff because like, oh, they have some '90s nostalgia, early 2000s nostalgia,
they have the
understanding
tech
those
to do it
games,
too.
and they do it on their own. Like the guy that made Lethal Company.
This is reminding me about a lot of stuff, dude. This is how in this realm I am. Like I don't show it now because I focus on like what my business does,
Right.
and only that because that's I gotta make a living,
It's
right?
like,
But in college, I did the movie, so I know how to do the movie posters. I know how to design and draw and art and all that stuff. I also made a video game. I don't think I ever told you that. I made
have you told me that?
I made a 2D scroller. You know the game Flappy Bird?
yes.
When that was popular, I made my own 2D scroller in college as one of my final projects.
Oh,
And I won a state award for it.
damn.
And we had a lab where we tested it, and my game was 80% most addictive for the kids. And I'm like, why are they ranking it on addictiveness? And I had some people talk to me, which I never talked to again. I don't know why, because I was just stupid and young and didn't follow up. But they were like, we want to talk to you more about your game. For all I know, they wanted to buy it, you know?
Because they understood like that's the trend. It's like keep kids on their phone. Keep like you have to keep people watching. You have to keep people logged on because it's like the more hours are there, the more they do. We don't want people getting off, which they should. But once you're done with this podcast, and then so it's just like that's how it goes.
And I made it with HTML code.
HTML. Okay,
Which
that
is
does ring a bell.
Insanely basic, dude. It's like, I mean, it's not as basic as literally basic. That's a language, in case you don't know. But you don't know, huh?
Dude, okay. I had to create a web. Remember what I was telling you? Like for one of my college classes, I had to create a website with
Dreamweaver.
Dreamweaver. And literally, it's so funny. I go to college
I don't really
and they're
know
like,
anyone that's ever used that, to be honest. But maybe people did. I don't know. But
and they're just like, you have to create this website with Dreamweaver. So I'm trying. It didn't work. I didn't care. All I wanted was just the pass because I'm like, I just need this piece of paper so I get a degree, yada yada. Even though I'm learning more at my actual job, but I digress. And I tell Ryan, I'm just like, hey, I use Dreamweaver. He's like, cool. I didn't know it was 1995.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what? He's like, dude, that was a waste. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, community college, but I only paid like $60 for the classes. So.
I'm sorry if anyone uses Dreamweaver out there to make websites, but I run a company that makes websites, and we don't use Dreamweaver.
It is.
We don't use Wix. We don't use any of that stuff. We use HTML, CSS, Java, JSON files. You know, sometimes we do some Linux stuff if we need to on like a high end, and then other than that, different tools, different software.
It's like if you're starting and you use Dreamweaver, cool. I use Clipchamp for my first video. Oh, it's funny looking back at that first video. You'd be like, oh gosh, this is terrible. But I'm curious if people like that have made like their first video games were thinking the same thing. Because like the guy that made Lethal Company, that was super popular like mid to late last year.
I need to keep looking at my games.
Yeah.
I don't remember the names of them.
So like he made it, and before that, like years before, he would make games on Roblox that nobody really ever cared about. And then he made Lethal Company. He made it himself, and that thing absolutely took off. Like streamers were playing it, YouTube videos, like it was super like in for like a few months. I think he made like just because he was the only person that worked on it. He made like $5 million, like nothing.
Dang.
And it was just like because it took him so long just making game after game after game after game.
This list that popped up on Google. Oh my god, dude, this is giving me so many flashbacks right now. Okay, go ahead. I'll clear it out.
So it was just like that was crazy. Did you play Battletoads?
No.
No? Oh, because I'm actually curious to see.
What is that?
Wait, how do you not know what Battletoads is, dude? Okay,
What was it on?
Let me look it up.
Oh, by the way, also back in we should stop saying back in the day because it sounds like we're like saying like the freaking like 60s or something. In the 90s, that's what our back in the day is. So when we say back in the day, just put 90s.
Just put a scene from the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, we literally didn't. PC games were not really games. They were kind of like testing, like a testing ground. PC, the only dedicated PC gamer game that I know of, which I probably shouldn't have been playing it, was Counter-Strike.
What do you mean you should have been playing it?
I was like 10 years old, bro, shooting people in the head. It's like, I need to shoot them in the head. But it's still different than Call of Duty. I don't know. Like, it's still like...
I think because it feels a lot more like grittier and real. Like COD, you're like, I'm dying, stim. I'm fine.
And you also know it's a game. Like, it didn't... Like, it looked real-ish. Like, oh, look at these graphics.
Yeah.
Right? But it was still like... You knew it was a game.
Yeah, Counter-Strike feels a lot like grounded.
Like, the original Counter-Strike was... And again, my uncles knew how to like put code into the system, and like they would hack it. My uncles knew some stuff, man. I don't know. Yeah, and so Counter-Strike, This is the one that people are not going to... These next two. Unreal Tournament. I need to send you these images.
Wait.
I'm going to send you Counter-Strike, Unreal Tournament, Tribes.
I've not heard of Tribes. Unreal Tournament feels like I may have heard of it. I might know what it is, or I might just know it from a reference.
Unreal Tournament, let's put it this way. You could shoot a buzzsaw at someone and chop them up. And I played that as like I would say 5th grade to like 6th and 7th grade.
This is like my generation when we found the video game like Whack Your Boss or like Whack the Robber or anything like that. And it was this like very basic like art, black and white. But you would just like kill somebody in the most violent ways imaginable. Like kill your boss. It's just like you're there working, your boss is just going off and off and off and off on you till you like select an item. It's like 14 items in the game. And it's like you can kill him with a stapler, with a computer, with like your cabinet. It wouldn't be like, oh, you just hit him with the cabinet. It's like, no, you shoved his head in and just went bam.
Those in 04. Look at those graphics.
Actually not half.
I would not doubt that these companies like sold again their tech or their ideas to like, you know, eventually Sony or his own. Like how are you rendering these graphics on a 1990s computer, early 2000s?
Like it's crazy.
With these
some of the
garbage chips, you know.
That's just like, dude. Like that's like if I might be right, I might be wrong.
And this was the okay. So you know how like people started playing online with PlayStation. Oh, we're gonna play together in like a lobby and all that, right?
Yeah.
People were like, whoa. I was like, you do that all the time with like Counter-Strike, Tribes. It was not like a new concept. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. That's why PC games were like the testing ground, and then they adopted it into like the AAA system. You know, that's why like people are like, oh, you're not a gamer unless you play on PCs. You know?
Yeah. Like, okay, I like PC gaming.
Oh, I remember this. This is crazy.
For the convenience for me. Because I'm just like, okay, I'm always on my computer. I have to update it because of editing and everything like that. So I'm like, you know what? I might as well just have it there. Trust me, don't get me wrong. I love busting out my GameCube every once in a while, playing Melee or playing Smash Brothers. Melee, Smash Brothers. That's the same game. Melee, Sonic, Super Monkey Ball. I don't know why every time I'm saying this, my foot just keeps going up.
Keep in mind, I don't know when Halo came out, but whoever made Halo probably got some inspiration from this.
Definitely the color scheme. I can say that for sure, especially with the space-looking things. Oh, and the vehicle. Is it the same company? Possibly.
I don't think so.
Huh?
If we should look into this, because I don't really know.
Wait. So that like give it like turn it. How long has Epic Games been around? This was developed by Epic Games. Damn.
Oh wow. I did not know that.
Neither did I. The more you know. This is very interesting.
See what I mean?
Like
technology, games. People say, "Oh, they're just video games. Are stupid." They matter.
They do.
Without this, there would be no Marvel universe right now for Disney, because this is where the tech comes from. Like they figure out how to do it on a low scale, low budget, make it look good, and then they go, wait, we could do that too and make it like.
And then they go to the high budget and make it look like absolute dog crap. And you're just like, really, like, like take it back to just like when you really had to like grind for it.
Yeah.
And like that's probably the mindset that people have with remakes, that they're like, okay, we have to like find a way to bring back this feeling of this was a passion project. Yes. People love this for the storytelling. All
for the artwork, for the steampunk, for the whatever it is.
For every aspect of this game, they're not like, oh, we're not making something new with this remake. It's like, we're giving them what they know and what they love. And
amplifying it.
And just literally just that so nice little, like, just little touch on top of like, okay, here's something just a little new. Like, Final Fantasy VII, I think, was like Chrono Trigger, where it was turn-based JRPG, like, action. With the new remakes, I think they've just added, the story still feels the same, everything aesthetically, of course, been updated, but the gameplay has changed to more Devil May Cry, faster pace, like you really control the characters and how they move, which is freaking phenomenal. Tifa's Star Shower dance, or not Star Shower dance, move, freaking, it's my favorite.
Look at this.
Favorite speed.
Like just scroll down and tell me this isn't like 2.0 bit COD. Or not 2.0, 2-bit COD. You could literally call that 2.0. You could literally call that 2-bit COD, right? And people be like, I get it. Because it looks like the same like Sahara level deserts in the original, like, I would say
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, yeah.
Yeah, because Counter Strike's been around forever, dude.
And it even like flows. Obviously, it's FPS. I mean, it flows the same, right? But yeah, so I'm gonna send you as much images so you have them. You don't have to look for them.
The funny thing is my phone was buzzing. I'm like, why is my phone buzzing? It's because he's sending me all these things.
So this is my era. Okay, Counter Strike. Again, that's PC, not PlayStation. We're talking about PlayStation. Dragon Ball Z Budokai.
Yeah, he has the original Budokai. I played Tenkaichi 2 on the Wii.
Yeah, I played the original Budokai with like where you had to like destroy your controller to like amp up a spirit bomb. You know, like just freaking it burns.
That's like the same thing with like the new Mario Party where it's like the 3 persons versus like the Bowser. They're just like, when you do it, please do it with your thumb, not with the palm of your hand, because you will injure yourself. And everybody's just like, who cares?
Yep.
Like you're like, I have to win.
Yep. And then what else? There's what other games? There's Crash Bandicoot. Oh, let me pull a list.
Crash Bandicoot.
Specifically PlayStation, because I'm going off on like PC stuff right now.
They made the reboot, but now that you mentioned, like again,
Metal Gear Solid.
I've heard. That's
Spyro.
I have that on the GameCube.
See, Resident Evil.
Have it on my PC.
Ooh, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
I had it on my DS.
That game. Tony Hawk has to be filthy rich from that game, dude.
He's made so much money.
Everyone loved that game. Even if you don't like skating, you're like, this is a fun game.
This is a fun game. The soundtrack was absolutely banging.
The open world, I think that was the first open world concept. Like, I was like, I didn't realize it's open world. I was like, because I don't like wandering around doing nothing unless it was Pokemon, because you're actually like literally looking for Pokemon. But if it was like on a screen, a big screen, I wanted to like play it, be entertained, get over it, go outside, right? I didn't want to sit there and like, I'm walking around my TV right now. Like, you know, I didn't want to do that. But
that's what
Tony
GTA,
Hawk
I'm like,
was like, it made sense because like, yeah, well, that's what you would do on a skateboard, right? You would go around and just skate around. So you had to go open world, you know? That was fun.
Yeah, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, that was good because I had it on my DS because we knew somebody that would jailbreak the cartridges. So I had like hundreds of games on there. What'd you find?
I need to get a poster of this. I forgot about this. I want to cry.
He's getting emotional.
Tekken.
Oh.
Tekken 3, dude.
That was
my! I remember me and my brother would play that game because we were in karate and all that stuff, and like we just like Tekken, dude. Tekken was awesome. Tekken. I forgot about Tekken.
Did you and your brother try like you see a movie, you're like, I think I could do that. You try it on each other.
Chrono Trigger was on PlayStation.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Upgraded version. Okay,
there we go. I'm like, in the sense, I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if it got like a remaster or a remake or whatever.
Yeah.
But Chrono Trigger still.
Ooh, Capcom versus SNK.
Nice stick. Well, there goes.
You know that one?
Capcom versus what?
SNK.
SNK. No, I know Marvel versus Capcom, but I don't know that one.
Yeah, Capcom versus SNK. I mean, they all had kind of like their thing. Like all the characters would like fight each other. That one was fun too.
Probably the same concept, just different.
I'm not gonna be able to send you pictures of all of these.
Don't worry.
Okay. I think my brother has it. We had a binder. People don't know this that are born now.
With all the CDs.
With all the CDs of our games in there. Because we had too many cases. So it would like literally like stack to the ceiling. Which we sound so spoiled, but like we earned it. Like we would buy our own games for saving from our, like literally like cleaning the yard and stuff like that, right? Our what's it called?
Chores?
Chores, yeah. Our allowance, there we go. So we would buy it ourselves. And they, like back in that time, a $25 game was expensive for a 6th grader. You know what I mean? But we would be like, hey, we have it. We'll play together. Okay, cool.
You're like, we'll pull our money.
So we had this binder. It's about this thick. And each one had like 6 sheets where you could slide it in.
Where you slide it in.
And we had it front to back. And sometimes we would double it up.
That's exactly what I do with my Wii games.
And I love that because they were always like, oh, we have all these different games we can play, right? And now it's like people play like one of 5 games because that's what's like being pushed on them, right?
Yeah.
We used to go to this place in it's in North Hollywood, I think. It's called Game Dude.
Okay.
It's a big building. It's yellow and black writing.
Okay, I thought it was called Game Tower, but yeah, Game Dude.
It's Game Dude. Well, the one I went to is called Game Dude. And then you would just walk in and be like, they literally have games from Japan in Japanese. I found the only Gundam game I've ever played on PlayStation. I played it. I bought it there. And he's like, this isn't Japanese. He's looking at me like I'm a kid, right? Like, this isn't Japanese. And I'm like, I want it. Because it was like $10.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was like, why you're wasting $10? Like, you're not going to.
No. Trust me.
I figured it out, dude.
That's the thing.
I don't know how I did it, but I figured it out with no internet connection back in that time.
No,
right?
no forums.
Well, landline, right?
Mm-hmm.
No forums, no Googling, no YouTube, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I just looked at the booklet because they used to come with booklets,
Yep.
right, of how to play, and I would go, okay, well, the words are different, but the PlayStation buttons and the controls are still the same. So I would just do it and see what the character did, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, I know how to fight now.
Because like even now, like games are like such a step up from what they used to be.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they realize, okay, this generation, video game has been here forever.
Mm-hmm.
They already kind of know the basics. Like, okay, for example, if I threw you into a fighting game and I handed you an Xbox controller or PlayStation, an Xbox controller, what button do you think we need to punch?
The one to the right, whichever one that is.
To the right? That
X.
would be B.
X
Oh,
would
yeah,
be.
X.
Yeah.
Yeah, X is to the left. It's just like, see, you're like, I played video games. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
I kind of already have like some sort of like intuition about which one is going to be which.
Jump is usually the one on top. Crouch is the one on the bottom. Or jump will be joystick, just hit up.
Yeah. Well, I thought jump would be a. Oh no, because my game for me the GameCube.
Nintendo was always a little different.
Yeah.
So Xbox and PlayStation definitely they utilize the joystick a lot. GameCube started using it more than the N64. But I remember for Smash Bros. Jump was to the left. It was, I think it's B. No.
For Smash Brothers, jump would either be
joystick
would be the joystick, and then A would be your basic attack, B would be your special.
Yeah. See, so it's always one grid or the other.
Yeah.
Right. It flip flops with them, but we knew.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything's so like intuitive.
Yeah.
Where
And
you're
always
like, okay, we get it.
Pretty much like every FPS was like triggers on upper right, right, or back right, or however you configure it, and reloads, square, right.
You're like you know the certain layout. Okay. Question.
I wonder if they all sat down and were like, all right, we have all these controllers, and if we want people to play, we need to come to some kind of agreement here. Like
the gentleman's agreement,
stop
like with the cars.
making jump the back trigger. It doesn't make sense.
It's just like, imagine you have like guys like at a table, like with just cigarettes everywhere, posters, and they're like, no, this button has to be jump. Another guy comes in, no, like, it's this one, and they're like all fighting.
And they're like, you know what? We need to get literally get like the world's like leading psychological evaluator and be like, which one is jump? Be like, based on psychology.
It's just like it's like PlayStation.
I would have done they
Xbox
did that because think about how much of a debate that is, right? Because if you don't agree on it, there's no standard. But then at the same time, if you design it a certain way and you patent yours that way, then you're like, okay, now you're restricting everyone else from doing that. And it's like, so now they have to do it differently.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, does that really add to our industry, or is it just
like just gimmick?
I feel like there's like an unsaid rule here, like, okay, no one's patenting trigger patterns here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but I think it's also gotten to the point where it's just like, okay, we are gamers already are like, okay, we intuitively know which one it is. You can't just mix it up. It's like Sony PlayStation, like, okay, we're gonna have this button be jump, and then Nintendo rocks in, I'm gonna have this button be jump. And everybody's like, oh my gosh.
But what's interesting to me is that like I need to pull up the controller. I can't remember them visually.
It's like even with the coffee, like come on, you should be firing on at least 2 cylinders.
PlayStation, Nintendo, and what was the other one?
PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox.
Well, those are the big three. Those are the big three, but I mean, obviously, there's Sega.
Yeah.
There's Atari.
Is Sega Sega's out of that console wars. I'm curious of Nintendo, how much they're going to push with the Switch 2 coming out soon.
Now, they're smart because I literally was like, I don't see a reason to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I heard they're coming out with new Smash Bros.
Oh, okay.
And here's the thing. I told my wife, because when you're married, you got to approve the bank account, right?
You're like, honey, I come forward with the proposition.
I was like, look, I don't want the new Switch. You guys, then why are you talking about it? I'm like,
I want the new Switch.
We don't need it. This one we have is a 4K Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need it to be faster. I don't need it to do all this crazy stuff. It does this. She goes, okay, then we don't need it. I'm like, no, we don't need it.
No.
But I'm telling you right now, if Smash Bros has DBZ characters in it, I don't care. I'm buying it. I'm gonna buy the console and I'm gonna sell this one and I'm gonna buy Smash Bros. And I'm gonna start over again because I am not gonna not have Smash Bros. without Dragon Ball Z in there.
Yeah, you're just like, it has.
There is no way. And I've always wondered, like, why haven't they done it? I get like the whole thing with like we always talk about this, the licensing and all that stuff is like a on the wall, right? But it's like it has to be done at some point.
My question is, who would we add to the Smash roster? Like DBZ makes sense. What are other video game characters?
You could add you could add there's a ton of series, but you could add the iconic ones. You could add Evangelion.
You technically could.
You could add Ava 1 and what 2?
Well, there's 0, 1, 2. Oh, it depends if you're going into. I'm being such a pretentious douchebag with this one. I'm just like, well, it depends. Do you go with the TV series? Do you go with the rebuild series? Do you go with all these other ones?
No, you just go with the one that
the iconic ones. Yeah. You go Ava Unit
right?
0, 1, and 2.
You could do. I mean, because they have Final Fantasy in there already. Right?
Yeah, they already have Cloud.
They have.
They already have Metal Gear Solid with Snake.
They have Snake.
They have Minecraft. They have Xenoblade. Well, it's Nintendo. They also have Street Fighter.
They don't have Naruto.
They have Tekken. They don't have Naruto. Oh, wait, what was that? Oh my gosh. What was that game?
The thing is, if they bring in anime, they're gonna open up their it would overflood. It would flood over just their current IPs. Because there's so many. Because you would have what about Jujutsu Kaisen? Oh, what about My Hero? Oh, and each one of those has 10 worthy characters
that you can throw in there.
Yeah.
Before I forget, there was this video game online. I forget what it was called, but it was the Flash version of Smash Brothers. Mm-hmm. And they had anime characters, all this stuff that you can fight with. Mm-hmm. I forget the exact name of it. I'll look it up. Everybody knows, probably anime fans from my generation remember it. But it was like a knockoff version of Smash Brothers, and it was so much fun to play. And it was in that pixel art too. Does the Smash Bros. Roster have to be Japanese intellectual property? No, because it already has Minecraft. Minecraft was made by Notch.
You're right. Yeah.
My question is...
So then now you open the door to Superman, Flash, Batman.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Right? But that's what I'm saying though. But
I feel like that vibe would be off a little bit.
Now if there was another franchise, not Smash Bros, but maybe I don't know, DC Fight or something, right?
They're actually thinking about making a DC version of Marvel Rivals.
Okay.
But it's going to be really hard to replicate.
So then now you have Marvel Rivals, you have, and then, Budokai is his own thing too. Mm-hmm. Now we're getting back into the realm of the 90s where it's Capcom versus SNK, right? Mm-hmm. Now it'd be Smash Bros versus Budokai, right?
Ooh.
It would be Smash Bros versus, but they're all in the same game, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which would be really cool.
It would be.
But they wouldn't do it that way. They would just make it an online platform.
Most likely.
And then you just log into whatever credentials you have, and then you have your roster, and then you just fight each other based on this open world, not open world, but universal staging, right? Where it's you can pick one of 20 tournaments, and whatever character load you have or earned, it's in there already based on your profile.
The thing is, they have tried with Warner Brothers Multiverse or something Multiverse Brawl or something like that, where it was just they took a lot of properties from Warner Brothers, threw them all in there. Didn't work.
Then you got Mortal Kombat.
It's dead.
Mortal Kombat. It's a Japanese IP, and it might end up in Smash Bros. But it's one of the first. What is that game? I forget the game style. What's it called? Where you have two characters facing each other, and they're ready to fight. There's a name for it.
2D brawler? I don't know.
Is it a 2D brawler?
No, because then sometimes Tekken does move in a 3D space. I'm not too sure.
Not when you're fighting though.
Well, the new Tekkens, I believe, have.
I've never played the new Tekkens. I've only
because the new Tekkens when you fight,
the good ones.
You can. It's let's see how many Tekken fans in the comments below are no, you gotta watch the new one. You gotta play the new one. All the mechanics are.
They actually made a series on. I think it was Netflix. I don't know if Netflix made it, but it was on Netflix for all. Mm-hmm. Tekken.
I know that there was a anime. It was pretty good.
He fights Brian Fury. Yeah.
This is just going over my head. That's why I'm just and it's just nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast.
I gotta find it now. I gotta find it now.
He's
dude.
I'm in Spain without the S. I for a half second I remember how to spell Spain. But my question is, if you update the Smash Brothers rosters, I would like it to be condensed a little bit more. Because trust me, Smash Brothers Ultimate, that is a ginormous roster full of people absolutely love the characters. I'm like, if you're gonna
Ultimate has a bigger roster?
dude, Ultimate has a huge roster.
Do I have Ultimate? I don't even know.
That's the new one on the Switch. That's the latest version.
Because when I bought the Switch, I bought Smash Bros.
Yeah, it's
Then
called
I think
Smash.
I have Ultimate then.
Yeah, it's called Smash Bros.
Oh,
Ultimate.
okay. Then I
It's
just call it Smash Bros.
It's a huge roster where I'm just like, it's a bit overwhelming. I'm like, if you add new characters to it, I'm like, that's gonna be ginormous. People might disagree with me here, but you know what? That's perfectly fine. We can have a healthy discussion down in the
Yeah,
comments
you're
below.
free to be wrong.
You talking to me or talking to them? Because I felt just very generalized. But at the same time, watch people
Okay,
be
here,
like,
hold on.
Brandon's wrong for this. Games. Are you the person that would go for tank characters that were super slow, but once they get their opponent, like they would absolutely decimate them?
Good question. That's like a personal profile there.
Or would you be like the person that would go for the speedy characters where it would be more death by like 1,000 cuts and 1,000 hits and combos to then take somebody out?
I mean, if you're making me choose, I would go with the speed one.
Yeah.
But I always liked having like a mid-range character, like someone that like their power would be on a scale of 100%. Let's just say their power would be like 70, but their speed would be like 90.
Yeah.
I'd take that character all day. So like in Smash Bros, I like using Cloud.
Okay.
I like using
Weeb.
was it Hit? No, that's not Hit. That's Dragon Ball.
No.
What's his name?
Which character?
The
Describe.
boxer,
Oh, Little Mac?
Little Mac.
Yeah.
He actually garbage at jumping though.
Well, that's
Absolute
the point. You just
yeah.
throw him off stage and just like, and bye-bye.
I got him pretty good at staying alive, but the thing is, they gotta get near me to throw me off.
Yeah.
And when they get near me, it's not a good move
Okay.
because I just
Then
combo
you
decimate them until I like
into oblivion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did enjoy Little Mac when I first started playing Ultimate because I do really like the speed. I just didn't like the aerial presence or anything like that.
Yeah, which a lot of people like aerial presence in specifically Smash Bros. Because the staging has such a big deal to do with like if you survive or not.
Yeah, the platforms.
Yeah. So yeah, I like the faster ones with medium power
Okay.
because in my mind, at the end of the day, if you can't land a big hit, it doesn't matter.
You
right?
just make sure that they can.
Yeah. One thing though, like the King Kroll character, if used correctly, he is extremely hard to beat. Like because he has a long range attack.
He has a good amount of versatility.
And he has a good versatility. He's not super slow, and he's insanely heavy. Like
and as well the invincibility whenever he uses front smash. And the counter.
Yeah, you could hit him so hard at 120% damage,
And he still
just like falls down, and it's like this is gonna be a lot of hitting.
This is gonna be a long
And that's when
match.
I wish I wish I had a little more power here. So then I'll like juice up my power move and hold it and just wait until I get the right opportunity.
It's like juice up the character. You just see him like off stage. It's like just
And
okay.
that's
Get
the
the
thing
roids.
like with Goku, if he's in there, would be so sick because like you could like power him up and hold it, and when you're ready, if like let's just say, I mean, his ultimate move would have to probably be Super
Kamehameha
Saiyan.
or like Spirit Bomb or something like that.
It would probably. I think it would be better for Kamehameha to be like accessible like throughout the gameplay because people are gonna want to use it.
Oh, would it kind of work like Sephiroth's neutral B, where like he charges up his attack?
Yeah,
Where it's like you could charge up the Kamehameha and it does more power and
like
has like a
Samus.
further.
You know, it's like
Yeah,
and then like
Samus'
you hold it,
beam.
and then you could just boom, and you could move it around a little bit.
Yeah.
But then his like ultimate move would be like like maybe
Well,
like
that's Samus's ultimate.
he goes into Well, I guess for Goku he would probably go into like God mode.
I would
Ultra
say
Instinct.
I would
you
say
know?
neutral B would have to be like Ki Blast, and then his ultimate would have to then be Kamehameha, in my opinion. Because
Yeah.
I think you can't do Kamehameha in the way that it works in how Smash Brothers plays, because there's no characters I can really think of when you hold down neutral B that they can blast something and it goes a certain way. It's always like a projectile or something. Like Sephiroth's is a projectile, Lucario is a projectile, Samus is a projectile,
Right.
Mario has the fireballs, Pikachu has the lightning. No, Marth has a tipper.
And you know what down B should be?
What?
Down B? Kaioken.
As soon
Why
as
does
you
it
said
work?
it, as soon as you
Doesn't
said it,
it?
I'm like, wait.
And you got like for like 5 seconds you got like insane speed and power.
It would be the same as like,
but like and he gets tired after for a little bit, right? That'd be the drawback.
like Cloud's Limit Break or
yeah.
or Shulk's
Yeah.
wheel
Kaioken's
thing.
perfect because it's not like a super transformation. It's just it's like a good power up,
Be a nice little boost.
and there's always a drawback to it, right?
And then it can have
Like,
it could probably be like Cloud's like limit meter where it has like a certain limit of how you can
Yeah.
use it and it'll like recharge after like
Exactly.
hits and damage and all that kind of stuff.
exact. So like that's what I'm saying. Like
It could work.
Goku, Vegeta would have to be in there too, obviously.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I'm almost positive. Excuse me. People would pick Piccolo over Gohan.
Ooh. Why do you say that? Oh, do you think because Gohan would have too similar of a playing style as Goku?
As both of them, and not only that, like you can't bring in the whole roster, right? So
No.
like it would have to be someone unique
Yeah.
enough.
And it has to be a Z fighter
It
because
has
of course.
to be a Z fighter, and no one cares for Tien or Yamcha or any of them anymore.
No.
So,
Or Chaozu.
You know, be a good caveat ones too would be Android 17, 17 and 18
That would be good because they have their
Yeah.
own very distinct style. Because 17 with his shields and everything like that.
in his Ranger mode, like with his Ranger outfit. Like they really developed his character a lot, which I like.
Yeah. Doesn't he like fuse with someone in GT and then he becomes like super
People are
strong and then
gonna
he gets
start
his butt
asking,
kicked?
but people are gonna start asking for the villains too because
That's
they have
gonna be
good
true.
villains. They're gonna be like, I want Cell, I want Boo.
I want Frieza.
Yeah.
Basically, it would just be like just put like the people
I
at the
feel
start
like
of Budokai Tenkaichi
that's why they
2.
did that with Pokemon. They did like we're gonna put Trainer.
Yeah, and then you can just switch them out. The starting three.
because we cannot have like 150.
It's like okay, we'll put Mewtwo because Mewtwo's like everybody loves. That's like a staple.
Yeah, see what I mean? Like
Pikachu's a
Mewtwo,
staple, yeah.
Pikachu. Who else is on there?
There's Pichu. But
Oh
that's
no,
a joke.
Lucario.
Lucario's on there. Yeah.
Lucario, not Lucario. I think of the car seats. And I didn't even know he was a Pokemon.
Lucario.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I know he's a new one. So.
Jigglypuff. There's actually a decent amount of Pokemon in there. Well, it's also Nintendo, and at the time they're like, okay, we're gonna throw Pokemon in here.
Yeah, Pokemon. Well, Pokemon made them their money.
Yeah, that's true. So
Like,
it's just like we
without
gotta pump
Pokemon-
it in there.
Without Pokemon, dude, Nintendo wouldn't have survived. That's essentially the history of Nintendo. I don't believe they would have survived without them. And Pokemon gave them the power to leverage PlayStation, right? PlayStation wanted their technology and
all
their
that
fan
stuff.
base, and so they worked together and all that. So
Yeah.
without that, they would have been like, what do you have to give us? You know?
Yeah, they would have been like,
Yeah.
yeah, what's gonna happen
But
here?
what's interesting that they never PlayStation never got a Pokemon game, which you would think would be like a no-brainer, right? Like, oh yeah, you guys have a huge fan base, we might as well make some money here.
But I think Nintendo is just like that's one of our biggest calling
Yeah.
cards, so we have to keep it to our console.
calling card,
Calling card.
no pun intended.
I'm so slow. I was just
Because
like, what the hell do you mean card?
everyone forgets.
It's a card game.
It started as a card game.
My brain immediately with card games goes to Yu-Gi-Oh!
It started
first.
as a card game
yeah,
from someone.
Pocket Monsters. I
No,
honestly,
not even Pocket Monsters. The original creator of I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Not Pokemon, of Nintendo sold cards.
yes, I do remember that.
He sold gambling cards
That's the fun
to
stuff.
the Yakuza
Yes, I remember that part of the Nintendo history. Because when I think of like,
gangsters. Nintendo's
so
literally
you want to
gangster.
be a gangster? I'm just kidding. I don't know how that song goes.
When a weeb tries to be gangster.
It doesn't work for me. I can't do it. I tried. I imitated. That was the one and done. I know my limits. But seeing how like that would be like their main staple, and I also
Yeah.
really loved the original look of like the Pokeball and the Pocket Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Like of course the red and white looks like amazing, but I really like because I had the gold lace on it too. Like I know it's different. My brain has
Talking about
it.
the game?
No, the card games.
Oh, okay.
Like the design on the back. I actually had a few of those originally when I was younger. I don't know what I did. I think I lost them in a move or something, which I'm not surprised.
It always happens.
Always happens.
losers. Actually, oh man, I should have them out here. I have my original Pokemon cards still.
We'll bring them out. We'll start refreshing the
Actually, I probably want to put them up here.
the set a little bit.
Yeah.
We finished drywall. We still have done nothing with it.
It's better than what's behind it.
That is true. Behind it, oh gosh, then it looks even dumpier
Yeah.
because it's just like, no, it doesn't look like a halfway house.
It's good enough.
It's, you know what? It gets the job
And at
done.
this point, like we could even barely get here on time. So, or I could even barely get here and I live here.
I show up. I'm just like,
He's like,
I'm
"Hey,
outside.
I'm
and he's
outside.
like,
And I'm like,
I'm waking up.
I'm waking up, bro.
I'm like, I drove how long to get here? And you're just like, give me a minute.
I knew it was gonna be hard. I didn't think it was gonna be that hard. But
Yeah.
like,
It's
it's
tough.
the only way we can do it right now.
That's why we have to have the coffee.
Yeah.
Next week we're thinking about actually making like a fire, like the because you like camping, you have the outdoor stove.
Doing it here while we talk.
So it's just like look forward to that potentially next week if we
that'd be
remember.
We'll do it.
We'll do it. So that'll be
we
fun.
said the whole thing. Everything's about prepping.
Very much so.
We have this we had this all set up already, so it was really easy today.
Yeah.
Like I got up, I was like, oh, thank God, this set's already like
done.
I didn't move anything, so I was like, cool, that's done. I just got to get up and pretty much get out here, you know, or in here, not out here. So yeah, we're talking about the games. The so the Pokemon stuff, man. That was my first real introduction into like, okay, I want to play this game and I want to beat this game.
Yep.
And tell me if I'm wrong, but you guys don't beat games anymore. You just play them. You know, like like the fact that you could turn on Fortnite and pay to have everything is weird to me. Like I'm like, don't you want to earn it? Like I earned the Shenron glider.
You
and the
grinded for that.
Yeah, and the Stormtrooper. I call them skins still, but I don't know what they're called. Whatever outfit.
They're still called skins.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
I
haven't played Fortnite.
I earned both of those, right? And tell me if I'm wrong about this. You can't buy the Shenron glider. You had to earn it in the DBZ iteration of it.
I got no clue. The last time I played was the cube.
Because I had people DMing, like not DMing, I don't know if it was called DMing on Fortnite, but asking me, like messaging me, like, "Oh, would you sell it? You know, would you send it to me?" And I'm like, "No."
Like this is mine.
I earned this thing. The heck. But anyway.
But yeah, video games is definitely evolved in that. So Pokemon was your first one. What game would you introduce the little one when she's like old enough to actually play? Because last week I played Mario Kart and she was just there with the controller and had it like upside down.
Yeah, it was funny.
And I'm like, okay, let me just put on Smart String and accelerate forward.
Yeah.
And I just have her like looking at it. She's like, I'm playing.
Yeah, and let me tell you this, Brandon takes the cake for video games. I don't know, like, dude, like.
No, I don't.
Yes, you.
You are past your
good.
prime.
I'm good at games, but I don't know how in the heck he like beat me by like 7 places on Mario Kart, and like I always get like top 3 in Mario Kart, and like because he was going so damn fast,
the computer's
like, let's increase speed here, and I'm like, why am I getting smacked with everything? I never get smacked. Like
I would like finish the race, and then Ryan would be like, he'd be like maybe like 10 seconds. He'd be like, okay, good. I think I got good. It looks at 7th place. He's like, you're done? I'm like, I've been done. Well, I gotta play with Smash Brothers because I haven't played in a while. But I used to play when I started out. I played Little Mac because I like the speed. Then I switched over to Marth because I just like his playing style and I love counters. And then I also play Pikachu.
Pikachu is good, very good if you know how to use them. Yeah,
figure out the combos has been fun
because the combos and the majority of the time people are electrocuted, so they're kind of like they're not really
stunned for like
they're not moving well. Yeah. Like especially Pikachu is really good against fast characters if you hit them. Yeah, because they can't move. Big characters,
not
hard
really
because
you have to get in there.
You have to get in there and get out and get in and get out. You have to like bob and weave a lot, and there's a lot of big characters that have moves that stop your movement too, and especially aerial ones. Like who's good against Kirby's really good because it's just hard to hit him. But who's good to hit against Kirby would be
my brain immediately goes to King K. There is like I don't know a counter for King K. Rool.
Who's the Garth? Not Garth. He's huge. He's big.
Oh, Ganondorf.
Ganondorf is. I don't like the character. I don't like the way he looks. Unfortunately, I don't like his name, anything. But he moves. He's the type of fighter or character that I like to play with. Like he has powerful attacks. He's not sluggish.
They've definitely upgraded him from like melee. I tried playing him in melee. Like if I remember correctly, I might be mixing up the games, but like he felt slow. Like of course, even in Ultimate, when you try sprinting with him, he's not the fastest. But like when you move him, he moves.
Or when you use his, I guess he's a magician or something, or a sorcerer.
Yeah.
So if you use his moves, his power moves move quickly. So you have to, and that's the thing about. That's why I like these. That's why we like games. You learn how to play them. You go, okay, this is how you play with this character. This is how you play in this game. This is the rules of these environments, right? Like in Twisted Metal, you're not gonna play Twisted Metal like how you play Gran Turismo.
Oh, but definitely not.
Right? Twisted Metal is like you can you could hit e-brake, slide, and shoot your machine gun at the same time. You know what I mean?
And then Gran Turismo, if you
In
try,
Gran Turismo, if you try to like hit an e-brake, you're just gone. You're just like game over. You're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's very different. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, those games started me off, dude. Pokemon for sure. I'm trying to think anything else on Game Boy, dude. I think I literally had a Game Boy just to play Pokemon.
Oh, Battletoads. Looking it up. I think it was on Game Boy. It was a Nintendo game. Yeah, this one.
Never.
Dude, this was known for like having the most notorious second level. Like people genuinely could not beat it. And like people tried for so long, couldn't do it. Like if you back in the day, apparently I heard like if you could beat that level, you were a god of video games, apparently. Like that's how hard it was. And there was also this meme like in the early 2000s where they would ring up like every game. So I was like,
should make shirts. Battletoads V2 winner.
you're like, I beat.
Give them a little badge
one.
And everything. I think people will buy it.
People will buy it. Yeah. And there was a meme where like people would call like GameStop and be like, so do you have Battletoads? And like, shut up, stop calling us. I don't know how the meme started. This was before I was probably conscious. I was alive, but that was just the thing that they had going around.
Interesting. That's crazy.
But
so what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So Pokemon. I'm trying to think of like my Game Boy games actually. So my first personal console, handheld, Game Boy Color.
Okay.
My friends had the other Nintendo, like the black and white one, which
black and white one.
Yeah,
you
could play Mario on it and stuff like that.
The NES or handheld.
Handheld.
Oh, okay.
Which it was kind of big. It was like gray and bigger.
Oh, the Game & Watch? No, that's not the Game & Watch.
I don't even. I literally saw it and I was like, doesn't do it for me.
Mid.
I really wasn't into video games until Pokemon. Now that I think about it, because my friend had the Game Boy. He was playing it in the school bus. But we were on our way to a field trip, and he was like, "Want to play?" And I was like, "It's kind of boring." Because keep in mind, my uncle had already introduced us to Tribes on the PC.
So you're just
I was like, "This is lame."
You're like, this is this childish thing.
And Nintendo knew that. They knew like we're lame. We need to fix this, and they did. And everyone was like, "You have a Game Boy Color? Whoa!" And it was smaller. It was like iPhone size.
Yep.
And it was in color, but it wasn't really like color. It was like one color.
It was like the yellow kind of grayscale or whatever.
And everyone's like, "You have Mario? You have Mario?" And I was like, "No, Mario." I was like, "Hell."
You're like, what? I have that. I have
this
that
is for this is for Pokemon. Like that was it. That's all. Like, because people were like, "What other games do you play?" I was like,
"That's it."
Which is probably why I beat it, because that's all I played on my Game Boy Color was Pokemon. I think I had another Game Boy Color. I don't think I played anything except Pokemon. I don't remember any other cartridges.
Okay, 2 questions. 1, what color was your Game Boy Color?
You want to see it? I have it.
You have it?
I have it.
Oh, we'll grab it later. And then 2, which version of Pokemon did you have for the?
So I had I'll say I had translucent purple, and I still have it.
You lucky bastard! I've heard that's a mint.
Translucent purple. I had translucent purple. I don't know why I got it. I think I thought it was blue. And then when I got it, I was like, my mom was like, well, we're not, because back then it was like, you open the box, you're done. Like, you can't return it.
This is not Macy's.
And I was like, and now I'm like, thank you. Yeah, because it still works. It still works, but my youngest brother gave away all of our games.
What is it with younger siblings and game consoles?
Yeah.
Hey, Shorty, I love you, but I'm still ticked about this. There's 2 incidents. So on my GameCube, I 100%ed as a kid Melee. I could sit and play Melee for hours, the adventure mode and the classic mode, and I did all the all-star stuff. I had 100%. My sister's like, "Can I play it?" I'm like, "Sure." You only go to this menu, which is for not single player, because she didn't like single player. She's like, "I want to just fight." You only go to this menu. Yeah. I don't know how she got there, but you eventually go to options. It's like you go to one setting and then you go to a brown setting.
Okay.
Do you want to clear all the data? I come back. I'm like, where's all my characters?
And back then it was like, once it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone. I'm like,
you gotta earn it again.
I'm like, where's all my characters? And she's like, I don't know. I just saw a brown screen. I'm like, what do you mean you saw a brown screen? I'm like, what happened to all my things? And I'm like, I found out she deleted it.
Still triggered over here.
And I was like, I'm like, that's like 3 years of my life gone. I still haven't done it because I've gone back to it because I just haven't. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And then another time she had my 2DS when the 3DS came out. There was you can get the 3DS that had the 3D, or you get the 2DS, which is about like yay big. Which that is my favorite feeling like handheld console that I've ever had. It's about like this big, and it's like chunky at the top, and then it like slims down.
So it's when they started developing ergonomics.
Maybe to some degree. This was when I was in, don't want to say like 9th grade when it came out. I still have it somewhere. I really liked it. I originally had it in blue. I would always play with it, and then I went to a friend's house, and Mom's like, "Oh, your sister wants to play on it. Can she borrow it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I gave it to her. Hopefully I still have my game cartridges, because I had the Smash Brothers 3D, which is one of my favorite Smash Brothers, like feel and look wise, and the console. Like it was just a perfect coming together. Yeah. And so I'm hanging out with a friend. I'm done. I come home. I get picked up. I'm like, "Hey, can I have my console?" I'm like, if there's still battery. I'm like, "I want to play some Smash." And she's like, "So about that." I'm like, "What do you mean about that?" It's like, "Well, we were at the mall. Your sister, she was walking. She was just swinging her arms, and it slipped out of her hand as she was going down, and just spiked it." And I was like, "Ah!" And my mom, she's like, "I'll get you another one." So I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." And I'm like, "Shorty, just be careful with this one." But I was just like, "Oh my goodness!" And that was the third console of mine that got ruined. The GameCube, well, not ruined. The GameCube happened because of my sister. The 3DS happened because of my sister. I had a PSP, and I remember I was playing it so much, I got grounded. And my mom was like, "I'm taking that away from you." So she took it away, put it in the center console of the car. Little did she know or remember, she had makeup in there.
Oh.
And so after a while, she's like, "Okay, you're ungrounded." She took it out. Yeah. The makeup just seeped through it and just ruined it. I was like, "My PSP."
And the PSP was actually pricey.
Dude, PSP
was the first handheld console that broke over $200.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Mom, thank you for buying that for me, because at that time we did not have money.
I'm pretty sure it was... Mom. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because my brother James, he bought one too. Mm-hmm. So at that point, I was getting older, and I was like, I like video games, but I need to you start to get older and obviously mature as much as you can. And
I'm like, I know nothing about that.
and he was still playing stuff, mm-hmm. But I was getting busier with I don't even know what, probably baseball, and he had a PSP. So the way mine went was Game Boy Color,
okay,
translucent purple.
Yep.
Still have the original one. Still works. Well, it turns on, but I don't have a cartridge.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like paying.
God knows how much.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably go to Game Dude actually and get my red version again, but
it's littlest, come back next week. Ryan's just like
smallest, smallest brother, youngest brother. I didn't see him do it, but we were like, "Where's all of our games?" Right? And mm-hmm. he's like, "Oh!" And eventually, my mom got out of him. He gave it to your cousin. My cousin Michael is an avid gamer too. Like if we had him here, dude, he can tell you so much.
I thought you were about to say like when you held A, you're like he's an asshole.
No, he's an avid gamer, dude. He's my uncle that had the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. He's his son.
Oh, so he's just
so he's like it's in his DNA. Yeah, and so he it's not his fault. My brother gave it to him, right? Yeah. And then a couple of years later, we're like, okay, we'll let him play with it, whatever. And then we're like, "Hey, do you still have them?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't know, because people like they throw stuff around the room or whatever. Who knows? The guy taken, thrown away, given away. Who knows what? They're not there anymore." So we're like, "Great, all of our original games are gone." Right. So after the Game Boy Color, we got I got it for Christmas. Okay. It was the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, okay.
And that one I learned to love the translucency. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I want the translucent blue. So I got translucent blue. Then after the Game Boy Advance, which I was playing silver version on it, mm-hmm. Pokemon Silver. And then I think there was, I'm telling you, I only played Pokemon on those games, on those consoles, or on those handhelds.
I feel like handhelds have like just a certain like niche of like certain games that you play on. Like Pokemon is like, okay, that's for handheld. Mario Kart.
The MMORPG style works great for that because you're a kid sitting in the car, right?
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, we're going to take a 3-hour drive. We're going to the whatever beach or camping 3 hours away. I'm going to sit here and you can actually sit. You can't do that anymore as an adult. You're driving, right? So it's like
unless you have a Tesla, then you're just like,
nah, Teslas. And then
touch your steering wheel. Okay, touch.
And then
just put your foot on it.
Yeah. Right.
My knee
I would not
cracked.
trust a Tesla to drive for me. But then the third one I got was the Game Boy Advance SP, the foldable one.
Okay.
It folded like
I
a
know
sandwich.
that one,
It was like a flipped version,
yes.
which actually, again, part of Nintendo's history, brought them back on the handhelds because it went from, because the Advance was kind of wide and like it was horizontally opposed,
Oh, okay.
and it was kind of clunky. Like it was, people were used to, sorry, people were used to, I guess, having a smaller footprint, which now our phones are disgustingly huge.
Yeah. Each year just.
It barely even fits my pocket, dude. The SP I had, and that one I had Ruby version on. I had Ruby. So my Pokemon versions were Red, Silver, Ruby. My brothers were always the opposite. So he had Blue,
Okay.
Gold, Sapphire. Yeah.
I think that's actually kind of nice that you guys had like different ones. It's just like, all right, I'll trade you this one to this one. I want to play that for a little bit.
And even to this day, he gravitates towards blue stuff, and I gravitate more towards red or like warm. Like my favorite color is orange, right? His truck is blue, right?
So it's just like very.
Yep. His favorite Pokemon is Blastoise. My favorite Pokemon is Charizard. Which obviously there's like reasons why. Obviously we're kind of determined that long ago.
The little one got your brother's thought of like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she picked Squirtle.
imagine she picked Bulbasaur, you just be like,
I think
Brittany, is this you?
I think any person who understands Pokemon, if their child picked Bulbasaur, they'd be like, "Oh
this
man,
one's gonna be an interesting ride.
this one's gonna be very different." I never understood Bulbasaur and Ivysaur and Venusaur. They're kind of like they were there, but like for what purpose? I guess maybe because we didn't get green version in the States.
Yeah.
We could if it was Japanese only.
Well, and then was yellow?
Yellow was Pikachu.
Yeah. Was that international or just?
That I don't know, but I know it was a popularity thing. I think it was more like like they're not going for any other versions because Pikachu's more popular, so they did yellow version, which I played yellow version, and it was fun. But the only difference I really saw was that Pikachu followed you around.
Which is
That was it. I didn't really care for that though.
Yeah, fair enough.
What else did I play? After the Game Boy SP, I didn't buy any more handhelds. I think that was the last handheld I ever owned.
Because I know the PSP, I forget which gen of it. Like there was one that was like it was a thick boy, like trying to like hold it, and then the next one was like a lot slimmer. I had the slimmer one that got ruined, and I remember
I had a slimmer one.
how I fixed it because I remember we got a used one, which was like the thicker one, and like that one didn't. No. I had the thicker one originally, sorry, and then we got the slimmer one.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, with the slimmer one, I lost the battery, and the thicker one, the battery is just ginormous.
Right.
So, like, I put it, and I would just put rubber bands around it, so then I could do it. Every once in a while, I would slip onto the right trigger, so it would, like, lock in. I had to, like, push it over to make sure it didn't pop out either.
Wow.
So I had to, like, perfectly, like, okay, it's hooked on
Yeah.
there, and then just get back to playing.
And it's funny because everyone had like their thing with like their console or their game, right? Like our PS2, we kept it clean. Like we cleaned the ports and all that stuff. We learned like you gotta keep. Our uncles told us they gotta keep it clean. So I think that's why it lasted so long. And we didn't have anything near it. It wasn't getting overheated. It was on top of a dresser, so it had good ventilation. All that stuff. It wasn't stuck in like a cabinet.
Yep.
Our Game Boys, we have carrying cases for them. We had like little slots
And all that fun stuff.
We literally had them like, okay, because my mom would tell us, you break this,
You're
ain't
done.
getting another one.
Dude,
You're not getting another one.
I remember that.
Like,
You're just
yeah.
like, one and done. That's
Yep.
it. Unless it's just like, okay, this was our fault.
And check this out. My mom is so gangster, dude. I don't know why she did it, but at some point she bought a Game Boy Color from Toys R Us, brand spanking new. And you know how it used to come in like a square box? It was just like a square, square, and they had the plastic wrap around it.
Okay.
We were maybe a couple of years ago, maybe like 5 years ago, it's right before COVID. My brother moved to Vista, which is right before San Diego, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna, get all my stuff. I'm gonna whatever," and so we started doing that. My mom's like, "You know what? if you guys want, you can help me clean out some of the closets and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and see if you have any stuff in there because I had moved out too, and I was like, I never went through all my stuff here either. I have my trophies, some other stuff, and so we're like, yeah, sure, and we start going through stuff, whatever, and then she's like, here, I had some of your guys' stuff in my closet in her bathroom,
Okay.
and we're like, okay, here, just go through it, and we start going through it, and my brother goes, what the, and then bleep it out, right? Right, and I'm like, what? And he goes like, dude, he's like almost shaking, look, and I'm like, dude, it is a Game Boy Color in like that teal, green, blue color.
Oh.
Okay, in the box, wrapped still with the price sticker on it.
How much was it? Come on.
Oh my god, I think it was like $80, which is expensive.
Adjusting for inflation will be
right, which is expensive back then, right?
Yeah.
I think it was like $80. I wish I took a picture of it, but he has it now because he's like, finders keepers.
Damn it. That's what always was.
My mom's like, hey, that's mine. I'm like, we're like, yours? Why do you have a Game Boy? Freaking in the wrapper still, right?
I was gonna play it eventually.
Oh, she was like, oh, I think I bought it. I told you guys if you ever broke it, I would never get like another, but I just had it as a backup, I guess, in case, like, okay, like you learned your lesson, whatever. I'll buy you another one. And I started thinking, like, Mom, you know how outdated this would be if like we broke it and then we're like the SP was out, like, you know, here's your game. We're like, this is old. I don't want this one. But anyway, like the thought is crazy because we never broke ours, right?
You just like,
so she forgot about it, I guess.
Yep.
And then she goes, oh, there's more stuff in there. I'm like digging, right?
You're like shoving to the side.
Yeah,
I'm like, mine.
Like, and I found 2 starter deck first edition booster packs for Pokemon.
Oh, unopened or open?
Unopened. I still have. They're in my safe.
I was gonna say, I'm like, what the
Unopened.
thing is the same?
Vaporeon and Jolteon editions. So they're not like Charizard, Venusaur, like they're the jungle packs, but still, like, I'm like, dude,
that could be worth.
Unopened, hollows are in there, everything.
Save it for a rainy day,
dude. And
oh god, Vaporeon.
But the Game Boy, dude, the Game Boy was like unbelievable. I'm like, and I got my brother like, you still have it? He goes, yep, it's in my house, it's in my safe. He goes, it's still wrapped in plastic.
You're just like,
I'm like, he's like, this is gonna be at Nintendo's museum. Like, it's like, that's his goal, is like, it's gonna be like, we need a mint condition Game Boy Color, and we don't have this color. It's like, be like,
go to Kyoto.
I want my name on the plaque.
He just walks in and just like, he's just like, well,
Mick, it's equivalent to like a vintage car never being driven.
That would
garage kept. You know what I mean? Like,
that would slightly break my heart a little bit if it's like unused, like car. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
For me, like a car, I'm like, you gotta
true.
use that thing a little bit.
But like, dude, we were like, what the heck, Mom? And she goes, yeah. She goes, I had them, and we're like, why do you have these boosters? These were like $20 a piece back then. Why didn't you? What were they for? She goes, I think they were for like Christmas for somebody, and we never gave it to them, or I don't know.
Era para Navidad.
Yeah, she goes, I just remember, oh, this Pokemon, okay, I'll put it away with the Game Boy, and I actually forgot about it because it was like stuck up in her closet, and she just left it there for 20 years.
Damn. And you're just like, you're looking at it, this thing will be EPA grade at least like 9 or 10.
It makes me think, what the heck does my grandma have in her closet?
You just go,
oh yeah, I just have this box of diamonds I forgot about, like, you know.
It's like, I found a gold nugget from, I don't know how old you're. I was immediately assuming your grandma was so old. It's like, it's from the Gold Rush or something.
Oh my god, the Gold Rush. No, dude. So anyway, I don't know how we start talking about that, but that's a cool thing.
That's a nostalgia
nostalgia thing. Yeah, dude. And then some of the games that I liked, and I'm just gonna end with this arcade game. Arcade games are very unforgettable. I mean, not unforgettable, are very forgettable, unless they really are good.
The one arcade game I cannot forget about, and I was even making reference to it when I was playing Final Fantasy Rebirth with one game, there was this one where you could play like as like on a snowmobile, and it would be like a racing one, and you could throw snowballs, and as well you could like kick opponents that were like right next to you. I always picked the guy with like the yellow snowmobile, and I just always forget.
Was it made by Midway?
Maybe, I forget.
Okay.
I just used to play this all the time because you would like sit down or have like the mobile, and then you would have the to steer or whatever, and you'd have like the buttons like right on the sides, like kicking everything, and like the boost in the center.
Yeah.
I played that game so much whenever I went to arcade. That and the Fast and Furious game.
See, those are newer to you, like newer to me. Like those aren't like originals for some reason.
Yeah.
I know the Fast and Furious one is because it's its own franchise. But to me, like there was a racing game before Fast and Furious
Okay.
that was very 2D looking, and it was I don't remember the name, but you would just it's the same concept. It was just
Different.
racing. Like it wasn't anything special about it. So that's what I think of those. But
That's gonna-
Fast and Furious game is definitely better.
Oh, for sure. I did.
And now the only sit down racing car game I will play is the Mario Kart ones.
Yeah, those are fun.
But
That's going to be a whole rabbit hole. But the thing is, we have to stop eventually.
yeah.
So
Let me say my arcade one. Hold on. My arcade one that I will not forget because everything else I forget except Mortal Kombat. But I mean that's like whatever.
Yeah.
And Street Fighter. But those are like of course no one's gonna forget those. It's called Metal Slug.
Yes, Metal Slug. That was such a good one. I think they even brought it, like, ported it to mobile too. 'Cause
I
they were
would
allowed
I
to.
would love to find it like as an app or something and just play it.
I think they do.
I'll
they
look
did.
for it because like especially if it's free, if it's an arcade free run, like okay.
Oh, that might have been the case maybe like 5 years ago. Now everything on the App Store is paid, or like you have to pay to like get rid of that.
I have to this day, I have never ever paid for an app, and I never will.
The only time I've ever spent an in-game purchase on an app was $10 for Contest of Champions. I forget what character I was trying to pull. That was it.
The only reason I have Fortnite on the Switch is because it's free.
Yeah.
That's it. If they charge me for it, I'm like, nope, I'll buy it. The only thing I will buy is an IP that they have just sat down, designed, engineered, created characters, and they're giving you a cartridge or they're selling it to you, and
Like,
that you physically own it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only time I'll pay for that. That's why I paid for Mario Kart. I paid for Smash Bros. I paid for I've actually had Crash Bandicoot.
And then you have the Pokemon game too.
And then I have, which I haven't even opened.
Nope.
I'm gonna end up being like my mom, like, oh, I have this thing still wrapped.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay, where do you
Yeah.
guys draw the line? Is
Yeah.
it you're fine with free games where you have microtransactions? Do you want just the game entirely? Are you okay with an added DLC like Elden Ring? What about arcade games? What was your childhood video games that you used to play that you're
Yeah.
like, if I had a time machine to go back, I would play this specific game over again and relive it all? Let us know down in the comments below. But thank you once again. And coming to you coming to you from a dumpy little garage in the San Fernando Valley.
I'm Ryan. He's Brandon.
And this has been Bridging Otacos. Thank you very much. Have a good night. I have to poop because of the coffee.
Oh my gosh.